Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Navi's turn to pick.
Sand King.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Clockwork!
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Queen of Pain.
Navi's turn to pick.
There we are. So, this is my last game of the day, as this will be my 6th cast today. But for Anji and Navi,
10 seconds remaining.
this is not their last game.
5 seconds remaining.
No, it's not. They got a lot more to go. Okay, so Anji after this one's going up against Effect and against Spirit still at the end of the day. And then Navi after this is still going up against Gambit and against Empire. So they got a long way to go. So far, Anji, I mean, they've been okay. They lost against Team Vega, which of course wasn't good, but they won against Double Dimension, the one of the open qualifier teams. Navi, they lost against M19, which is one of the open qualifier teams as well, and this is their 2nd game, so we have not seen any other Navi apart from them against M19, which is a game that was really difficult for them, as of course they, like I just said, they didn't end up pulling out a victory there. Let me change my Twitch channel for a second, be back.
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, I did that.
5 seconds remaining.
So now people can actually see what I'm casting. That's always handy.
Navi's
Alright, so
turn to ban.
Anji, they've opened with the Clockwork and a Queen of Pain. I like it. I like it a lot. We've seen Clockwork being very successful today so far. Even if the team didn't win, we saw General, for example, earlier play Clockwork, and he played a great Clockwork. He was just not able to pull out the victory for his team. But it's a hero that needs levels, not necessarily farm, and you can just fight all the time.
Remaining.
So I like that hero. At the same time, Disruptor is a bit of a counter because you can just glimpse him back. Already glimpse Clockwork back, that is. Queen of Pain, same story. You can just glimpse her back if she jumps in and tries to make something happen. But we've also seen Queen of Pain be very successful today. Sand King and Disruptor on the side of Navi, 2 strong heroes. I already mentioned the strength of Disruptor against both of the heroes of Anji. And Sand King is also just a very well-rounded hero. You got some solid stuns, and you got some nice control, some nice catch as well. So yeah, very nicely done overall, especially if you want to try and chase down people. Disruptor can get some vision up in there. You can force and burrow and you can first blink and burrow if you're a Sand King, or you can glimpse him back in the burrow after. Yeah, I like both openings so far. 2 fairly different openings. One more defensive perhaps than the other more aggressive. We've got some regular bans. I don't think anything out of the ordinary gets banned here. Maybe Magnus is a bit out of the ordinary, but General plays a really good Magnus, so you want to be a little bit safe from that. Just like we've seen Batrider being banned out against Navi previous time as well. It's just something that General plays so well, and you don't want to have to deal with that. Or the IO for that matter. On the other side, you got some solid cores being removed. The Lone Druid, indeed, out of the pool as well. And the Night Stalker. We've seen Night Stalker have a big impact today. Rubik comes out. Did we not hear the Rubik sound? Oh, there we go. Nature's Prophet. I was wondering when we were going to see this hero. Where was it that we saw this hero having a big impact? Which tournament did we have recently? We had the Summit. We saw Nature's Prophets over there. The other thing that was going on there was in China. I forgot the name of it. But we saw quite a few Nature's Prophets there as well. Yeah, Galaxy Battles. We saw quite a few Nature's Prophet there as well. So yeah, I was kind of wondering when it was going to show because General also plays a pretty badass Nature's Prophet. I say that General probably will play it, but I know that Pycat also plays a boss Nature's Prophet, and I don't think Dendy's going to play it, but I know he can as well. So, could be one of the cores. Let me drink some water, sorry. Alright. So I like the Nature's Prophet a lot. Clockwork is considered a little bit of a counter towards Nature's Prophet, though, because of course you got the hookshot to catch him, you got the flare to see him, and it's a Queen of Pain as well. You can catch him fairly easily, so it's kind of yeah, I think it's kind of a counter. It's a tricky pick. Let's put it that way. It's a tricky pick, but it's not something that is unheard of. It's not something that will cost them the game. So
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see what Anji is going for next. Oh my god.
Navi's
That is not a very excited oh my god in case you fail to not hear the if you fail to hear the nuances in my tone. Let me explain my dislike for Underlord. Generally, his ultimate is used to get away from things. His ultimate is used to not fight, and I like people fighting. Sorry, I like people fighting in Dota too. Thank you. So Underlord is kind of the anti-fun for me for that. Next to that, there was a period where he was doing really well, where Underlord was actually really good and won a lot of games. And then he got nerfed, and people have been trying and trying and trying and trying since, but it's just not been very successful. It's just not been very good. Ursa is actually really good against Underlord as well, as Underlord's fairly tanky, but you can stack up the Fury Swipes. You can also hold him in position with the Sprout from the Nature's Prophet, but then then Ursa can't reach him, so that's a little bit of a tricky combination right there, although I do think it can work out. The one thing that you have to always make sure for Underlord, obviously, he can get himself out of there, but you can, especially with level 1, on his ultimate, you can kill him while he's using his ultimate, especially if you're an Ursa. You should be able to do that. I say a lot of able in one sentence right there. Alright. So you get an Underlord, you get an Ursa.
10 seconds.
How are you gonna lane this? Let's see, Na'Vi misses a mid hero, that's why we have the Puck banned out, Terrorblade's banned out instead of Na'Vi, as there's a core still lacking from Anji. Storm Spirits pick up by Na'Vi, so that's the one that we're gonna see Dendy on. He's gonna have a really tough lane against Queen of Pain. Let me just say that, unless he has some help at the start. Storm Spirit in the early game is not great. We've seen this matchup earlier today again as well, by the way, and the Queen of Pain definitely won her lane handedly, and it had not obviously player skill comes into play as well, but as far as heroes go, if there's no help, Queen of Pain will own Storm Spirit for the first couple of minutes. The Troll, last pick by Anji, not really that much of a surprise. I guess we've seen a lot of Troll this morning already, and overall just a good core. Saying that, I don't think we've seen Troll win today. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure, but who knows? Maybe Anji can do something there. If you were to ask me which draft I like more, I like the mid more of Anji. But the rest I don't like Underlord. Let's just Put that out there. And I do think the clockwork is accounted towards Nature's Prophet. I would say it's fairly even. There's things I like and dislike in both drafts. Maybe a slight edge to Navi. Maybe a slight edge to Navi. Ooh, Pikachu's Queen of Pain. Alright, let's see who wins the tower level battle. Looks like it's gonna be, yep, Anji wins. Easy money. Easy money. Ooh, questions. Yes. Alright, so. Total number of deaths. 20, 60, 40. I've been saying the same thing all the time. Teleport cancelled by minute 10. No. I'm assuming they mean teleport scroll. Player with the first triple kill. Hi, cat or Pikachu. I'll go for Pikachu. Player with the most D wards by minute 15. Biver. I believe in Biver. Biver is good. Biver is really good, actually. Alright, let's take a look at who's playing what then, shall we? Right. We got ourselves a Troll Warlord played by Sedoy. He's playing on the top lane, he's playing on the Dire side. And he looks to be supported by Rubik, who's played by Javash. No fear will play the clockwork. I love that taunt.
30 seconds
We have Yoki playing the Honor Lord. I mean, he got an Iron Talon. Looks like he wants to start in the jungle, but he looks also the one to start with the blocking of the wave on the mid lane. Making sure that Pikachu doesn't have to. Pikachu playing the Queen of Pain. And we'll go mid, of course, and I think that Yoki will still rotate towards the bot lane. See if he can make something happen there. Then on the side of Navi, they're playing from the Radiant side this time. It's Pika playing the Ursa Warrior. We've got Biver on the Disruptor, and he already has Sentry Ward in his infantry as well to counter the ward. Ooh, we got the underwater, what is it? Lobster. It's a lobster. That's actually Sand King, but it's a lobster. Suneko playing the lobster, and Dendi playing the Traveling Magician, Storm Spirit. Is this the one where he has the banjo? I'm not entirely sure. But it's the Storm Spirit nonetheless. General will play his Nature's Prophet. This will be a treat to watch, you guys. He is a very good in that hero. Will be fun to watch. I am missing someone. Did I say everybody? Did I introduce everybody? Yeah, I think I did. That's everybody. Alright. Now the most interesting thing is how long is General going to hang out here? Because I say that I just jinxed him, of course. It's the caster's curse. He will end up walking away. Barely. But he's not able to do anything here on this lane, because as you just saw, this is going to happen more often. So he should be starting out perhaps in the jungle. Maybe he's still going to try to get some levels. He has to be very careful though. And he has a Tauntaun too. That's triggering right there. In the meantime, Pikachu versus Dendi. Storm Spirit versus Queen of Pain. Burst Strike. Wait a second. Underlord. What you doing there, buddy? Were you trying to get the creeps? Is Suneko gonna die? Yeah, no. One more hit. Oh my god. Ha! Yeah. Alright, we didn't miss first blood this time, guys. Woohoo! Rejoice. Yoki will live and he gets the first blood too. Lucky him, for sure. Clockwork rotated mid. We got already a teleport from Sand King as well. He just obviously died, so he's back on full mana, full health. First level 1 Burst Strike is of course very slow, very low range, so he has to be very careful there. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting lane. Keep your eye on the last hit. So far, Dendi is ahead. Is having a good time with that. Nature's Prophet has got the teleport available. Of course, won't be able to teleport. He's trying to block with the creeps, and he's able to do that. Taunt coming out from nowhere. Taunt coming out from General as well. Oh, I do like that. A little bit of fun there. A little bit of play. Queen of Pain. Uh-oh. Dendi, you gotta be careful there. Careful indeed, but Suneko, he comes out with the stun. Pikachu got no blink available. They're waiting for the last hit to go to Dendi, but Dendi wasn't able to be fast enough with the Shadow Strike. And you saw Nature's Prophet just standing there waiting for Dendi to get the last hit, but Suneko snacks it and takes it. Nature's Prophet gets the experience though. That's worth it for him. Even being around is worth it. overall, the start is a good one for Na'Vi. Despite of course losing the first blood to Yoki on the Underlord. Underlord in the jungle is not too bad. It's a tricky one to continuously farm with, but it's not actually too bad. They do leave an Ursa free farming bottom though. I do have to say that this troll is not getting too much of opposition on this top lane, and as you can see, he's able to get not that one though. He might get some of the treants as well with some extra gold going his way, but he's not able to keep up with the last hits of the Ursa warrior. I gotta keep tabs on that Ursa. Ursa's a fairly easy hero to read, however. You know what he's gonna do. He's gonna farm this, and then at some point you're gonna think, "Oh, where did Ursa go?" And then you know that he's at Roshan, so you can actually kill him. So I think that is something that Anji is hoping, that this Ursa is gonna be a predictable player, a predictable hero. In terms of where he's gonna be and when they can kill him off, and when it's still the right time to shut him down. Maybe before the Roshan, maybe during Roshan when they can get the Roshan themselves, because the troll is a really good hero for Roshan as well. So that's gonna be something to keep an eye out on for sure. Pikachu in the meantime, with an 18 for 10. Seneko coming mid, leaving Storm Spirit in the jungle for a little bit so he can get some levels, because Seneko's only level 2. But yeah, then he was getting some creeps, and we'll get the rune now as well. Oh, hello. No Fear is gonna steal the rune here. He was smoked up. General doesn't see him though, it's nighttime. There's a ward coming out, is here from the Radiant. So that's good. See him coming. But not if he comes from this side. Not if they die from the tower. There's a Burrow Strike, of course. He will use it to get away, but Pikachu jumps forward. Seneko goes invisible for the moment, tries to juke vision, but he does go down and not get the regen to live through that Shadow Strike. Kill go on the way of Pikachu. And no follow-up coming out from Na'Vi. They tried, but there's not enough mana for the Nature's Prophet to do anything. No Sprout available. So it will just be the right clicks, as Pikachu will just return the favor, going for the right clicks himself as well. Generally, he has to be careful. He's got those phase boots, of course, and that actually helps a lot. Does a lot of damage. Oh, hello, Courier. But you do have to be careful. Oh, speaking of, yeah, you got a shrine there, buddy. You can. That's good. Sprout up. Teleport out as well, and that should be him making his way home. Sorry guys, we are distracted with the taunts. As Yoki ends up dropping, he tried to run away, but he can't. Not from this man. Not from the Disruptor either, even though he didn't use the glimpse. So I'm not even sure this guy actually helped. Yeah, he did, to get an assist there too. Doesn't even have a level in Thunderstrike. Normally you want one level in Thunderstrike to get the vision out. If you use a Thunderstrike, you can chase someone down easier. Oh, what's it? What's this? Burrow Strike away? Battery Assault? He's fine. He's fine.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'll take your
Radiant structures.
Yoki just making sure that he is able to get the creeps away from the tower. So for both teams, other than Clockwork is everywhere, Sand King is everywhere, but the rest is kind of stagnant. I mean, that Ursa is still doing just fine with the creep kills, and of course with now killing Yoki as well. Seneko, he really needs to get the levels up and get the gold up too. Fairly even so far. I mean, troll farming away is always a bit tricky as well, but Ursa is still farming more, so that's good. If I were to say if it was in favor of someone, I would probably choose Navi at this stage, considering that I normally feel like Storm Spirit should be, or rather Queen of Pain should be further ahead compared to the Storm, but they're actually fairly close by, fairly close to each other, and especially now with level 6, then he should be fine. So I would put the favor to Denli, or rather to Navi a little bit, but not by that much. I don't think that Anji is too sad about how things are going so far. That Clockwork has made a couple of plays. No Fear does need to find a place where he gets the levels. We know that Sand King can farm the jungle, but Clockwork not as much. He needs to get the levels from the lanes, so he needs to hope that at some point Anji goes away and takes a different lane or goes ganking somewhere and he can take over, or needs to hope that he can do the same thing bottom as he has been doing for a little while, with Yoki of course farming the jungle. Or he has to find a way to get kills. It's another one. Oh, hello. Lift up into the troll ultimate battle trance. You can't escape there. Sprout not able to do that. And General ends up dropping.
Stupendous!
In the meantime, the illusion room was picked up by Biver. Biver's level 5. That's doing quite well for himself. Biver and Rubik are of course equals in a little bit, but with the kill going the way of General. Well, rather not the way of General. Kill going the way of the Dire. General dying. Rubik is actually level 6 right now. And he can steal spells. And he's gonna try. Get it. Yeah! Get the Sandstorm. Nice. Well, it's nice to have a Sandstorm. Alright, it's time, guys. Time to check out the net worth. Now, both teams, both cores are still quite happy farming. We're still, at some point, we are gonna see this Ursa try to rotate and get Roshan. Now, we already have... detours, guys. He died behind the tower. We already have the Dire wards up covering the Roche pit. They need to put up a new one soon. As we just have this one put up as well for the Radiant side, so they have got some vision for themselves that if Ursa is around there, they can deal with that. Can they counter that? Do they have to have a sentry? No, it doesn't. Blink Dagger almost ready for Pycat. Our General's died twice now. That's not good for a General, that is. It is great for Anji. I wonder how he's gonna get back in. I mean, he just needs to be around when there's skills happening. I would imagine that is the way for him to do things. Yoki, level 6 in the meantime, almost level 7 even. He's doing quite okay. He has not leveled his ultimate just yet. I mean, level 1 ultimate, I already mentioned it, it's not as useful as you would want it to be if you're playing an Underlord. It's just too slow. It's just too slow. Right, Nature's Prophet. Again, I mean, sure. I do like it going for drums. That is actually a build that used to always be a Bulldog build, actually, in the TI3 times. Going for Face Boots drums. Oh, hello, gotta be careful there. He does not have hookshot yet, he's still level 4. But that battery assault still is a tricky one. Level 5 on the Sand King should be able to burrow strike it. No, can't. The cogs stop him. There's a glimpse available and he gets no fear out of there. No teleport out for you. And that is a kill going the way of General, and he desperately needed that. So good for him and not so good for No Fear. And I do think at this point, I mentioned it earlier, we saw Sand King level in the jungle and he's almost level 6. But we need to see that Clockwork leveling to level 6 as well. He is one of the heroes that only needs levels. He doesn't necessarily need that much farm, but he does need levels and he's not getting them right now, which is a problem. Tier 1 for tier 1 by the looks of things. Sand King is pressuring tier 1 a bit middle, but top lane is where the real pressure is being applied on the tier 1 top. That being said, I actually think that Anji can afford to defend this still. There's still a fortification available if they really want to. There you go. They're rotating mid, however. Yeah, Sand King might be the target to go for. Queen of Pain coming from the side. Now it turns in for trade. However, the tower that Anji took allowed them, and because they took it earlier, allowed them to put up some extra wards in the jungle. They got great control right now over the map. This ward is still there, of course, on the side of Na'Vi, but they don't have a new ward placed just now. Disruptor could do that if he wants. Biver has the chance. Oh, Clockwork. He just wanted to level. He just wanted to follow my advice. He can't do it because he's alone. He dies. He farmed in the wrong place, though, that being said. He did just see Nature's Prophet and Disruptor pushing the top lane, so he was aware that happens. Is there a glimpse back available? Yes, there is. Bye, Pikachu. Back to the middle lane you go. He is still coming, though. This is scary for Disruptor. He still hasn't placed his ward either. And you can't do there because there's a sentry there already. Ooh, gotta be careful. No, he's fine. He's fine. Or is he? Hello?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're fine. Scary though. Coming that close. In the meantime, Sand King. Level 7. He's doing that quite fast.
Middle tower is under attack.
Clockwork's still level 5. Finds himself, glimpse back. Sonic Wave is not enough to kill off the Disruptor, but oh, if she had a scream at that point when she jumped forward, she would have been able to get a kill, but Disruptor now lives to see another day. Sprout up, looking for the vision, finds the pings for the Queen of Pain, but it is a Queen of Pain after all, and without Disruptor, they can't kill her.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And they
attack.
can't kill her indeed. Bloodstone first for Dendy.
Stupendous!
We said that earlier as well. I normally, like, I always feel like if you're playing against Queen of Pain as a Storm, it's kind of the battle of who gets the Orchid first, but we saw that earlier. It doesn't matter anyway because the Orchid is stronger on Queen of Pain than it is on Storm anyway, so it's better to go for Bloodstone on Storm. I learned that today. It depends a bit on the game, of course, as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hey, what's happening here? Are we gonna smoke? There's smoke up on Rubik. They're not gonna smoke though. They were just together by happenance. Mechanism ready on Underlord. This could be proving to be quite a big fight there. Sudoi jumping forward. Burst Strike. Aesthetic Storm though. He's in trouble right now. He's trying to get out. Getting help. Getting the mech up. Still though, Dendy's chasing him down. In the meantime, Pycat is looking for kills. He gets rooted up. Has to be careful there. Still gets a club out. He's taking a lot of damage. Burst Strike up. Gets the Queen of Pain. Nobody dies just yet apart from the troll that got chased down. Now the Ursa dies as well with Pikachu getting the kill. Getting chased down. Nice cogs. Making sure that nobody of the Radiant can come up in the high ground. Dendy gets dropped back on the high ground. Still manages to orb himself away. Now the epicenter comes out from Seneko. And 2 people are stuck in the kinetic field. That should be 2 kills going the way of Na'Vi. Indeed they do. Glimpse back. Ooh, nice burrow. Dodges that Chavash. The plays. Very nicely done indeed. Still though, it's a 2 for 3. It's a 1 for 3. Sorry, Ursa for a troll, an Underlord, and a Sand King. And oh, I was too late with the team fight recap. And it was a good fight for Na'Vi. They don't take anything off. Actually, did he actually? Yeah, he walked forward and got the last hit. Biver takes the last hit of the mid tower in the end. So yeah, Na'Vi to take the tower off the back of it as well. This fight was initiated by Anji. It was the first fight where they had the mechanism of the Underlord. It was the fight where Troll ran forward and probably was just a little bit of ahead of the curve there, or ahead of the crowd. He was over there with the rest of his team. They couldn't follow. They were still stuck here. The mechanism eventually came out over here. There obviously were great cogs to make sure the rest of the team also couldn't really help him. But I think that that disconnect in the team of Anji was the reason that they lost that fight. They were not that far behind that they should have lost by as large of a margin as they did. But that team fight did get that all the way up net worth as the Rubik ends up dropping. All he wanted to do was place some wards. No, place a sentry. Maybe that's what he wanted to do. But he pays for that. Alright, Anji knows that this is happening. Can they do something against it? There's a Firestorm that's always doing a lot of damage there. So that's a little bit, yeah, forcing Na'Vi out of the pit. The question is, do they want to go back in? Do they feel like they can? Not with the Rubik back up, it looks like. It's too scary after all. Nice. Midas time. General's in for the long haul. I'm really curious about what this Nature's Prophet is going to build, because there's so many different paths you can take, I feel. My Midas after phase drums. I do like that. Phase drums just allows you to be useful in fights regardless of what else you have. And then Midas is just saying, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go greedy. I'm gonna go for the farm, and I feel like he can this game. I already mentioned during the draft that Clockwork is a bit of a counter towards him, just like Queen of Pain, but he hasn't really been targeted that hard apart from when he was on the lane. Smoke coming out now from Anji. They can abuse the fact that Midas is coming out on Nature's Prophet. They can know that it's happening and make sure that they can pressure a bit harder, knowing that the Nature's Prophet doesn't have as big of an impact as he could have. Ooh, hello. Alright, that's Biver. He's dead. Bye. Kinetic field, not there, because Disruptor's dead. Pycat dead too. He was not expecting the entire enemy team to be there to back him up, so... Ouchie. Ouchie, 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 ouchie.
Dire's bottom tower. 2
clean kills, and they take down Roshan before Na'Vi can. This is big, because Ursa normally is the one that needs an Aegis, but Troll, he can take an Aegis very fast as well. Sand King, they know where he's at. They know he's coming. In comes the interruption. They have a ward to scout him out too. He dies, and so does Roshan. This observer ward scouted that out, of course, so he can pick him up from the high ground. So very nicely done, Shavash. He's having a great game. He's having some good plays here. Is able to catch anything?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
I think this catches it, yes? Might be close.
Radiant's middle tower
Tier 1 mid drops as well. More map control going the way of Anji. And with that Aegis, they can be more ballsy if they want. They can try and go for the top tier 1 as well. They can try to force out a fight. They have got the Underlord also to get them out if they want to use the Dark Rift to get out. And they know that there's a Midas in general, which means that he can't really do much else apart from right-clicking. I mean, the right clicks are painful, don't get me wrong. But other than that,
Stupendous.
he's still level 11 as well. He's almost level 12. Actually, when he's level 12, he will have his level 2 Wrath of Nature. That might be a little bit more damage coming out from him. And at this point, Na'Vi having that Nature's Prophet is really good for them, because if and when Anji win a fight, you want to hope that they do not push too far in. Or preferably not push in at all. Obviously that middle tower couldn't be helped, but Nature's Prophet will make sure that all the lanes are constantly pushed out, meaning that when Anji wins a fight, they can't actually push into the tower. At least that's the play. Kinetic Storm, Kinetic Field, Static Storm up on the Queen of Pain. They go down first. Clockwork, they'll chase him down next. They have got the... yeah, they got the interruption there. There you go. 2 kills going the way of Na'Vi. Very well played. Nice catch by Biver as well. Knowing that there was going to be enough backup in time to help him out.
Uproot and after them.
Ooh, free gold. Yes, says Biver. I'll take that. I'll take it. Alright. Pycat. Going for that BKB. He needs it. Otherwise he's just gonna get constantly interrupted, or battery assaulted, or lifted, or slowed. And he needs to be able to hit things. That's the main problem with an Ursa. It's so easy to kite him and to just get away from him. Especially, I mean, this Underlord, actually, Pit of Malice, is so good against Ursa. It's counted as a root, so you can't do anything. Oh yeah, he needs a BKB. He needs to be able to live. Hookshot, misses. They did notice it happened, so they know they have to get out of there. There is a ward on the high ground here that sees a little bit into the pit right there. In the meantime, top line's getting pressured by the Sand King. He has got his Blink Dagger available. He's going for 4 stuff next. He's 800 gold away. Nature's Prophet will actually teleport top as well to help push the tier 2 tower. Because they know that they cannot defend this middle tier 2. It's that simple. Or do they want to try? I don't think they want to try. Sand King still pushing bottom. And yeah, this tier 2 will drop. Both tier 2s will drop. It's a trade. Tier 1 up, still standing in the meantime. Still 1 tower in favor of Na'Vi so far. They've got 1 tower more still left than Anji. It's a tricky one though, because we're at the point where the troll's actually really scary, so is Queen of Pain, so they need to if you're Na'Vi, they need to kind of avoid fights unless they know exactly what's happening. And they have the perfect burrow strike, no pressure, Snako. But yeah, right now the team fight coming out from Anji is just really strong. So they, I would say, have the upper hand at this stage of the game, unless initiation is superb by Na'Vi. But you know that there's always exceptions to the rule. But that's why it's perfect that they have an H profit on the side of Na'Vi. You can split push a bit, making sure that you get something in return, just like we just saw getting the tier 2 in trade for the tier 2 middle. Now, this tier 1 is not going to live for him as long. There's no amount of split push that can stop that. And it looks like maybe Anji wants to make sure that the tier 2 top is also down. But they're going to meet with some resistance for that. The scan is there. They know they're still there. Hello. Bye. That was Rubik. Teleport out from Sudoi. I mean, it's better than nothing. Shavash is a nice kill to get. Obviously, Troll would have been better, but it's... Someone's gotta die, you know? I think for Anji, this was the best possible outcome there. Sudoi can just continue farming. He also wants a BKB. That kinetic field controlling him is not great. You just want to be able to hit people.
The seeds of fortune.
Double damage rune on Dendi. Dendi's got a nice amount of farm, by the way. Going for treads next. Actually, he's got them locked. He's got the boots locked, but I do think he wants to go for the treads next. Can they find someone? Burrow strike. Queen of Pain gets Vortex into his teammate's cogs. He'll still end up dropping, or rather, the Clockwork ends up covering first. Pikachu now is able to BKB and get himself out. Still doing a lot of damage though, with the Sand King dying there as well. There's gonna be a death on the Ursa as well. Pikachu jumping back forward. Sudoi getting the last hit. I mean, that was a bit of a questionable engagement coming out from Na'Vi, going as deep as they did with so many people around. A bit unfortunate, not a worthy trade. Sure, a Clockwork for a Sand King is fine. Hello? Unless I get a Troll as well. Getting a Troll would be great. He's stuck in trees for the moment, gets himself out. He's very speedy, looking for the bashes. Then he knows he can only juke about. He can't really go in head to head with that. Might be able to get the kill. Yes, he does. There is someone stuck in trees. It is Chavash. Chavash, mechanism helps him. Yoki comes out to help out. Teleports out from Biver and from General. They're gonna live. Dendi, unfortunately, not the case. Overall, though, I mean, the Troll for a Storm is okay as well if you're Na'Vi, but losing that Ursa, this Ursa has not been paying out the way that they wanted it to. Any other hero having as much freeze farm as he had on that bottom lane would have been probably a little bit more successful than an Ursa. And I feel like this comes down to the hero, not to the player. Also, the Pike's been playing fine, but the hero is just easily kited. And if you look at the lineup that Anji has, you got Cogs, you got slow, you got another slow, you got a lift, you got a root. It's just not great when you're an Ursa, guys. That's why you need the BKB. That should help a lot, but we'll see if it will. Looking for a Desolator and Ags at the moment. He's got that Blink Dagger, of course. Not been able to get a lot of pickoffs. It's all courtesy of the nice positioning from Anji. They're really never alone, or even if they are alone, they're never too far out from each other. General has a bit of a problem there. Is gonna go away from Yoki. Scary times in Nature's Prophet. Alright. Snake's 4 stabs done. Looks like the Heaven's Halberd's next. Heaven's Halberd's great against Troll. disarming him is just making him useless. I mean, you don't even have to kite him around. You just have to either stun him, which is going to be tricky with the BKB, but disarming him is just fine. Queen of Pain sitting on 2k gold in the meantime. Disruptor is the poorest of them all, by the way. He actually does not have a teleport scroll. Can he get out? I think he can. They're already chasing someone else. Hex up. Yep, they got the Rubik. The Hex comes out from the Nature's Prophet. He is rich beyond belief. Nobody dies though. Shrine used by Anji as well. Shrine used by Navi as well. Nature's Prophet. Oh dear, be careful please. Ooh, hookshot misses, but the silence is still there. He should not be able to teleport out from that one, and indeed he cannot. And his whole team is not able to be backing him up as he moved. They moved away. Ursa is already using the Roshan. This is a good, sure. This is a good sacrifice from General. Like Pika said, like General, could you please lure them to bottom lane? I just want to take the Roshan. I just want to be the Ursa bear that I need to be, that I deserve to be. He just goes into the hands of Dandy. Hello? Oh, that's creeps. Calm down. They take the tier 2 tower though. Anji making sure that there's only one tier 2 left standing on the map. On the side of Navi. Meaning that once they push the base, they're gonna have an easy time taking down 2 lanes of ranks. They don't need to wait for tier 2s to drop. Yeah, you're guarding Reeves and Yoki. I believe it's Yoku actually, the way to pronounce it. Anji, Yoku. Be careful there. It's nighttime. You don't see everybody. Nature's Prophet actually is fairly close by, so he's okay. Ooh, but Yoku might have some support because Sadoy and Pikachu are coming. Sand King should be okay actually. Flare. Scouts and teleport out, but I don't think they can catch him at all. No, not possible. Not possible indeed. Good shot. Hello, Nature's Prophet. Bye, Nature's Prophet. Nice word of the high ground there, catching out the Nature's Prophet trying to farm some creeps.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Pressure coming out from Navi. They still have the Aegis, of course, on the storm as well. They took the tier 2. Pikachu's waiting in the trees to see if he has to teleport back or not. Troll doesn't have a teleport, and neither, well, Rubik does, but he just needs to buy the teleport, making sure that he can come back. Oh dear. The Nako. You gotta be careful there, buddy. You gotta be careful. There's people there for you. Yep. Told you. Why doesn't he listen to me, guys? That was a rough kill. Vortex there on the Queen of Pain. Then he still has that Aegis. And he wants to use it. Gets himself out of there. Does help still take down the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain has buyback. If she wants to be here again, she could. Even though it's a long route away from that Javash. Trying to get himself out, gets forced out multiple times, is alive for the moment. The Pit of Malice actually doing a lot of work right there. No fear, keeping them locked in, making sure those cogs are good. Disruptor not able to make anything happen there. Storm, again, his Aegis pop, jumping back and forth. Can he make something happen? Should be able to take both of these two down. Gets one, no fear. Can he get out from this one? I don't think so, but Sadoy, he's coming to his rescue. That means that then he has to run and has to hide. Clockwork, still got the battery assault on, but Dandy is fine. It is a 3-for-2 exchange though. Not worth it for Navi, especially since they lost the Aegis for that one as well. It started out so well, but with the Underlord showing up, I mean, the Guardian Greaves made a difference. The Pit of Malice was superb. The place to fight in was not great in the meantime. That's where Nature's Prophet is standing. When Nature's Prophet was standing because he dies. There's no way out. Does manage to get a ward up on the high ground, which is great. But, no. Actually, that one was already standing there from the previous previous push they had there. Nice. Tier 2 tower down. I mean, in the end, they get the tower out of it. That's not too bad, actually. They're now a tower ahead. Still, though, aggressive warding coming out from Anji. This game is still fairly even. I mean, this is... Sure, Navi's been in favor most of the time, but the difference is minimal. One fight can turn it all around. That's really what this is. Experience graph, same story. This is not even one fight. This is just one hero could make the difference there. This is Disruptor being sad. That's what that is. This game is really, really close. 33 minutes in. Navi, this is their second game of the day and they haven't been able to take a win in their first one. And they obviously hope that they can take it now so they can start and get the ball rolling, because you need to be in the top 4 to be able to make it to the playoffs. And getting into the playoffs, that's where you want to be, because the playoffs is where you can win yourself that spot for the International 7 multi-million-dollar tournament. Yeah, there's no pressure. No pressure, guys. We're good. Oh, you guys, you can't... I don't think that any of us can even imagine the amount of pressure that is on these players in the games that they play.
That should help.
And I gotta admit, this Underlord is working out great. He's a solid, stable person. He's not the most playmaking guy, but he's making sure these fights last longer than they normally would, and the longer fights are benefiting Anji. Five heroes of Anji rotating top. Sand King again, maybe caught out. Can he get away? They need him in the fights because they need his Haven's halberd in these fights. In the meantime, bottom lane is getting pressured as well. Storm is there together with Nature's Prophet. Storm does have a teleport scroll. Nature's Prophet can of course teleport whenever he wants to. He does have a teleport scroll as well. Lynn's back. Hello. Ooh, he actually tries to hookshot out, but he hookshot towards Pycat. Clockwork dies. Now can they catch more? Storm actually teleported to the shrine. He's trying to vortex him out of the Dark Rift. Can't do that though. Yoki making sure he takes home everybody, and the Nature's Prophet took down a little bit of the tier 3 tower, took off a little bit of its health, but no tower down. But they do save the tier 2 here. Still stands, and Prophet can just continue pressuring out the wave on top. They're getting back a bit of control. Pushing back, if you will. Oh, epicentro! That is gonna be a dead troll. He didn't even get the chance to go for his BKB. Yule's up in the air. Yoku doesn't have his ultimate available. Gets hexed up as well. Vortex as well, and the Ursa Bear lifted up in the air and actually might live for a little while. Gets forced off by the looks of things. Still gets his Pits of Malice off there and does end up dropping. I would imagine that Denny, he doesn't have mana anymore. Where is he gonna get the mana from? Can he get Joki? I don't think he can. Clockwork ended up dead. There you go. Suneko will help out there, and he does take a long time, but he does die. Haha. Double damage rune for the Ursa Bear. Because he does not do enough damage without it. No, he actually is quite fat at the moment. Sure, Queen of Pain and Pikachu. Dendy and Pikachu are still higher up than him, but he's doing fine for an Ursa Bear. And there's a lot of pressure now coming out towards the base of Anji. And there's no buyback on Yoku. There is buyback on the troll, but he might need to use it. Fortification comes out, but that is after the tier 3 tower dropped. Oh, that is a Queen of Pain. Pikachu drops. The Hex from this Prophet is doing a ton of work, for sure. Ursa is making sure that these racks drop. Buyback from the Queen of Pain. Rubik getting some help from the hookshot. 3 people in cogs, including Suneko, and Dendy ended up denying himself. In the meantime, Ursa makes sure that he gets out, but they get the racks. They get 2 tier 3 towers. Not too bad for Navi, for sure. And with that, we have a pause. With that, Dendy and his team, Navi, are definitely in control. Look at this is one fight. This is what happens in one fight. I said earlier that one fight could make a difference between, you know, this. This is one fight. No. this is one fight. And this one fight, obviously, 2 tier 3 towers and the range tracks, that's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold, you guys. It's not that simple though, as in, like, yeah, Na'Vi is ahead, but one fight also can end up going the same way the other way. And they also can push very fast. If that troll is alive, and they're having a fight on the right side of the map, which is what Na'Vi just had, of course, then also Anji can push very fast. And they can make the swing go the other way. Straight away as the Rubik disconnects again, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to wait a little while longer.
Patience from Zoe.
Wow. Oh, the baby cries. I need to drink some water while we have this pause. Perfect timing. What? Didn't we just say go? Ah, whatever. We'll figure it out sooner than later. Okay, guys. So, Na'Vi being ahead, and I just said that one fight can make it go turn around again for Anji. Let's find out what they need to do to have that turnaround, right? What type of fight does that need to be? They need to have clockwork, not initiated. Clockwork sets him a little bit of a tricky cogs going on. He's been catching his teammates a couple of times. He's been not been able to get away. He's been dying at the start of the fight a couple of times, and they do need him to separate the fight. I think that's the main thing. He doesn't need to be in the cogs himself. But for example, you should catch Ursa in the cogs, and then Ursa can't move. Now that would be great. If he catches Ursa in the cogs and he forces himself out so he doesn't die. That would be amazing. We'll see if that's the thing that's gonna happen though. And if you split up the fight, Queen of Pain can jump from forth to back, so she can actually... she'll be just fine. Ruby can steal some nice spells. One thing that this hero needs, Underlord, preferably the fight is in a place where... remember the fight that we had at this location? There was a pit of malice here that you couldn't get out of. There was the firestorm here, and this diagonal is perfect. This is a perfect size for a fight for Underlord, because you make sure that you got a small area where all your spells can come together. Now that being said, I know that is also very beneficial for Byver's Disruptor, but and also for Sand King. But if you have the cogs there and the battery assault, then they can't actually do anything. So the clockwork needs to jump to the back lines to make sure that those two can't actually make anything happen, and then the fight needs to be in a small space. Yeah. And they need some better vision, perhaps. They have got they don't have bad vision. Don't get me wrong. Let's take a look at the vision. This is Radiant, and this is Na'Vi. They have, of course, a ward they just placed. I would imagine that this is gonna get countered. Since it's in the base, normally all these wards get countered. There's sentries up on the Rubik. You should know. Now there's a chance he misplaces them, because there's a couple of places you place wards normally. In the middle, on the side. If he thinks it's on the side, he'll have it, but if he thinks it's in the middle, he won't. So we'll see what that one's gonna be like. And they also have one here, and this one should live for a longer time unless there's a gem purchase. This is one of the games that we don't really have gems that early. In all the other games, we had very early gems. Now, if you look at the dire vision, they've got some vision around their own shrine, which is great. And they've got vision around Roche Pit, with the flare just now as well. So they do have some control there. Roche needs about 50 seconds to spawn still. 46. I always forget you can do that. It's kind of nice.
Do it with flair.
Worthy.
You can see Anji wanting to go here. Want to try and make a fight happen. And they can. Or can they? More wards around it, Roche. And around mid lane as well. In the meantime, top lane is getting pressured out by the Queen of Pain. Is this going to be smoke? They're moving like it's going to be smoke. They don't have a smoke though. Nature's Prophet pushing out bottom lane. Nature's Prophet has to be careful. He's getting stalked. Smoke gank not successful this time though. Perhaps they can still catch someone else. Looking for that hook shot. And they know Roshan's the target, so they can go from this side. Oh, the smoke ended. Though this troll is visible there, and it means that they probably know that there's more people around. There's not going to be a troll by himself without a Shadow Blade, without a Blink Dagger that can be there by himself. Trina's died. Roshan, how fast will it die? That's the question. It dies very fast. They need to go sooner rather than later. There you go. Aegis taken by Pikachu. This Ursa is getting stunned constantly, not in a fight. He ends up dying. There is a buyback available if he wants to try, but I do think that's going to be a thing that he wants to be doing. Queen of Pain, very low alive, jumps into the cogs, has 100 health left, still of course has the Aegis. His Nature's Prophet manages to get out from there. He realized that was not the play. Seneko looks to be wanting to take down the Aegis, doesn't get it though. BKB blink out from Queen of Pain, at least the BKB is on cooldown. In the meantime, Nature's Prophet makes sure the bottom lane is pushed out. Top lane is already pushed out. Mid lane is a tricky one to push out as well. Although actually, no, mid lane is pushing out towards Na'Vi. But with only Ursa dead, it's not going to be a push just yet from Anji. But that's the start. That's the start for Anji to get a grip back on the game.
That should help.
Alright. Na'Vi didn't need to buy back their Ursa. Pika could keep hold to that one. No buyback first out. Still doing quite well on their side of the game. But that Roche did just plateau their lead though, but the lead is still in for sure. But the question is who's gonna make the first move. If you're Na'Vi, you want to wait until that Aegis is gone. Queen of Pain with an Aegis is just really annoying. The cheese you can deal with. Perhaps you can kill someone without Queen of Pain being there. It looks like that's the case. Troll pops his BKB right before he dies, but he still dies. Yoku was a little bit late popping his ultimate. He will still... Oh, he clips back right on time. Biver got him. Yoki will drop, and that is going to be a burrow strike onto the Rubik, who tried to hide in the trees. Very nicely caught by Seneko. Pops the Ghost Scepter. Burrow strikes to the high ground. Can he get himself out? Gets... or tries to use the glimpse himself to get people out of his way. With 3 heroes dead, Troll and Yoku have got buyback. They're going to be forced to use it though. There's no doubt about it that they're going to be pressured here in this mid lane. Trion's already walking towards the top lane as well. There's one buyback from Yoku. Now does the Troll buyback? Does he get forced to buyback? Because Na'Vi is still hanging around here. It's probably going on the bottom lane. Oh, silence up a Queen of Pain. That's one down. They have the Aegis. Gonna be down again. Troll is still available to buy back. Still hasn't done that for the moment. Pikachu pops up his BKB, looking for a target. Then he's taking a lot of damage right there, but he's fine for the moment. Invisible Seneko glimpse back. No, he's fine. No glimpse. That was the Thunder Strike. Popped by Lincoln. Nature's Prophet in the meantime wasn't really in the fight. Takes the racks on the bottom lane. Sonic Wave. Ooh, doesn't even clip anything. He's fine for the moment. BKB turned on by Dendy. He should be able to get out. Teleporting out as well as Seneko should be able to get out. Maybe they catch this one. Okay, they can get one. The rest of Na'Vi is already backed out. Oh, hello. They catch Seneko still as well. But overall, tier 3 tower down. Melee ranks down. Another fight won by Na'Vi, despite losing heroes for that one. Lost some gold, of course. I mean, in this team fight recap, it isn't taken into consideration that there's towers taken down at the same time. There's racks taken down at the same time.
Incoming!
There's a strategical advantage that holds.
Top barracks are under attack.
Look at this. He can just confuse. Right now, there's backdoor protection, so that's good. And she doesn't lose anything here, but once there's no backdoor protection, he can just whittle away those range racks and slowly but steadily do that on both mid and bot lane. Whoa, bye! That was a Queen of Pain, in case anybody was wondering. Vortex into damage from the Ursa. Teleport out there at least by the well, by the troll by the looks of things. That Queen of Pain died so fast, you guys.
It is good to be among my kin.
Rough days for Anji. How are they gonna hold this without the Queen of Pain? There's buyback available on the troll, but that's the only one on the side. Actually, Queen of Pain has buyback soon. 20 seconds. That's actually not too bad. That's doable. They can do this. Burrow strike. They burrow strike each other. Vortex not each other because one had a BKB on this troll is taking a lot of damage. Remember, he has got buyback if he dies. Doesn't look like he dies for the moment though. It looks like then he's the one that forced back. Prophet though, he doesn't care about fights. Again, he's just going for the racks. He already took top, now goes for middle. BKB on for Pycat. Buybacks aplenty, both Troll and Queen of Pain. Bob back, used up in the air on the storm. Can he get himself away? Can he suicide? Yes, he can suicide. Nature's Prophet, he's the one that we have to keep an eye on. General, we haven't really seen too much of him in this fight, but again, he just took the racks top and middle. There's only one left standing, the melee racks. And they do catch him. So they do catch General in the end, but it's again a rough one. And then the only way he died is because he killed himself. There's just 2 buybacks used on the core heroes of Anji. They have to make sure that all these lanes are pushed out. They have to make sure that every fight they take is on the other side of the map. Because they can't afford to take a fight on their side of the map again. That would just mean game over if they lose it. It's too risky. Unless they know 100% sure that they're going to win that fight. Or they're getting forced to take that fight, which is something, of course, that Na'Vi wants to do. Force fights out on the enemy side of the map. Again, though, one fight won by Anji on Na'Vi's side of the map, and towers will die fast. Troll is a mighty tower pusher. So if they catch him, or rather, if Na'Vi loses the fight here, let's find out if they do, though. We already have Ursa jumping on Pikachu. Pikachu is already down. That was a 2-minute death timer on the Queen of Pain. Not able to be back anytime soon. Nature's Prophet ended up buying back because he wants to have some of this fun. Top lane is already pushing out. He might even be able to rat the mid lane. Yoku doesn't get himself out with his Dark Rift anymore. Sudoi, the GG, never mind. The GG comes out. It is Na'Vi that take their first victory, and Anji lose their game against a Na'Vi. 1-1 for Na'Vi. It has only just begun. It has only just begun for them. They have a lot more games to play today. Anji also have more games to play today. There's so many more games to Dota 2, you guys. Oh, that's the best part of the qualifiers. Now, for me, these were 6 games, the first 6 games of CIS Dota that I got a chance to cast. I'll be back tomorrow, though. But 6 is all we get from Valve. So, oh, I feel lucky that I'm getting some games to cast anyway.